Hello and welcome to AmalgamNation. This week I'm doing a vid on Thief the Reboot. This game is, as I said, a reboot of an earlier series where there were 3 games. I can't remember what the first one was called. I always just refer to it as Thief. I think it's Thief the Golden Age, I'm not sure. Then you have Thief the Metal Age and Thief Dark Shadows, I think. And the graphics in that series got progressively better and better. The gameplay didn't exactly improve or get worse much over the series. In the first game you had a sword. In the second game, which I haven't played, I have it and I will play it and do a review of it soon. You, from what I've read, have a dagger, and in the third game you have no weapon whatsoever as far as I remember. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll go into more detail about those games in their subsequent reviews coming soon, I hope. Now, as for this game, you have got a cudgel, or a blackjack as it's referred to in the game, and its main purpose is for if you can sneak up behind somebody, you'll smash them in the face with it, knocking them out. Then you drag their body somewhere where it's not going to be seen. Or you can use the body to drag attention away from an area so that you can sneak by. There's all those kinds of features in it. Now, you've got the ability to pickpocket somebody if they have a glowing pouch on them. The pouch will only glow when you can see it, and you can only pickpocket it if you can see it. Now, you can knock out the person you're going to pickpocket, and then if you can see their pouch, you just press the correct button, and on an Xbox controller that's the X button, and you press that button and you grab the item, and that's it. You don't even have an item taking up your inventory space. It's automatically turned into cash for your character to spend on more gadgets and things like that. There's collectibles that you can get to improve your hideout, such as paintings or brass plates or copper plates or something like that from different buildings. The different gadgets are, there's a blade of some description, something like a scalpel. In fact, I think it is a scalpel that you use to cut paintings out of their frames. There's a wrench that you use to open mostly air vents and things like that so that you can sneak through them. Then, as I said, you have your blackjack for knocking them out. There's a hook you get at the beginning of the game that you use for climbing up different things that are just randomly there for you to climb, and that allow you to get to your different quests and things like that. But the maps themselves are very confusing. If I was to compare this game to its predecessors, I'd say that this game has a similar storyline, as in you're not a hero, you're just the guy that everything fell upon. You happen to be the one who has to save the world, or in this case has to save your city or your friend or whatever it is, because it jumps from saying you're doing one thing to saying you're doing another thing, and you happen to be a thief. Your character at one point says he's no hero, and then he goes off on a heroic quest. So whatever he is, I don't know, and to be honest, I don't really care. The action can be annoying and fun at the same time, because you can only heal yourself by eating food, and avoiding battle does not regenerate your health whatsoever. So if you run out of food, and for a while you can only carry 5 items of food, if you run out of food, which you will do fast, you are pretty much screwed. You're going to end up stuck in a situation where you're going to be in combat unless you're extremely good at avoiding the guard patrols with the torches in their hands. And yes, they're old-fashioned flame torches. There's street lamps you can't put out. There's so many things that make the stealth so much harder to do in this game. and they're just there for that purpose. There's a background story behind it. That's the guy that owns the place wants to improve them by industrializing the place and has got all these lights set up around the place. You hear people complaining about them, you hear people saying how great they are. There's all that kind of bullshit in this, and it's an okay game. The graphics are amazing, I'll give it that much. The storyline isn't any different than most games out there that focus on stealth. You are not the good guy, but you are the hero. You are not this, you are that. You can't. You have to do this, and while you're at it, why not steal that? Half the main quests don't revolve around you stealing anything. They just revolve around you finding out stuff. That being said, I've enjoyed the gameplay mechanics. I like being able to run across rooftops and steal stuff in the game. I like jumping off the roof and knocking the guard out. I like the fact that it's harder to kill them unless you're using your bow, in which case there's about 20 different arrow types that you can use to potentially kill the guards. The only thing I don't like about the arrows is there's one called the blunt arrow. It does feck all damage when you hit an opponent with it, and even if you do a headshot, you don't even stun your opponent. Your opponent just gets alerted there's somebody in the shadows and starts shouting, "Help, I'm under attack," or "Who's there?" and things like that. But the game is somewhat enjoyable if you're into fast-paced action stealth games. Now, that being said,
remember, play the game and game to play.